Dear Diary, girl, can you believe I am writing to you from a park bench in Saigon, aka Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam? Yes, we finally made it to Asia for the very first time, and I am so glad to be here. I caught a flight deal for my brother and I for $700 round trip to Japan, and I also have a solo trip / influencer trip in Vietnam, so big things are happening over here. But even though the Japan part is partially a vacation with my brother, as a full-time travel creator and solopreneur, I'm still technically working too, because unless I work, I don't make money, okay? And balancing my vlogging activities with video editing and also the admin work of responding to emails and sending out W-9s and trying to get paid and pitch, it's been a lot. But I can handle it, because this is what I asked for and I got it, and I am not gonna let this opportunity slip through my fingertips. One of the hardest parts about traveling is adjusting to the new time zone. And I'm not gonna lie, the 15-hour ahead Japanese time zone has been really difficult for me to adjust to. So relying on the familiarity of my workout routine to help with the jet lag and prevent overwhelm has been necessary. Hello from Asakusa, which is the neighborhood I've been staying in here in Tokyo. It is a very windy, very busy day, but as you can see behind me, I am standing in front of the Sensoji Temple, which if you are coming to Tokyo, it is a must visit. And as you can see, it's only 9:24 a.m. and it's a very crowded, very popular place to be. But today's actually a semi-work day because we are heading to Kyoto tomorrow, and I've been trying to balance being 15 hours ahead of time while also trying to explore and sightsee and also balance a solopreneur creator business all at once. And let's just say managing my time and balancing it all has been a bit difficult this week while adjusting to the jet lag, and I need to be responsive to my inbox and all the other things I have to do too while I'm here. So with our battle with time, I do have some things planned. I am actually headed to a ramen and gyoza cooking class today, which I don't know if it's pronounced gyoza or gyoza, but I guess today I'm gonna learn the difference in the class, which is about 10 minutes away from here before I need to go find a cafe, probably in Shibuya somewhere, maybe go to the park, walk around a bit more, and just try to balance all of the things and also enjoy my time here in Tokyo. But my inbox is piling up, and I'm gonna take y'all behind the scenes of what it's like to actually film myself. I think if you're watching these videos, obviously I am filming in public currently, but as a travel creator, I do kind of have to put myself out here and do things like that. So I want to kind of take y'all along with me for the day, see what we get into, hopefully find a good cafe, because I do have some videos to edit and things to do as I am preparing, to go on to Kyoto tomorrow and see what else we can get into. Cooking classes are probably my favorite travel activity. I booked this on Viator, which is one of my favorite websites to find things to do as I'm traveling. It was $128 for a 3-hour class, and such a good time. But oftentimes vlogging and also participating is very difficult. So there is an art to creating content in public, and it's definitely something that I have struggled with as a creator. I have a stutter sometimes that comes out, and I'm still kind of shy vlogging in public too. But over time, I built confidence with this camera I use, which is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I think it's perfect for travel vloggers like me who want to create content but not draw the most attention with a big camera. So I brought my tripod to film on, which is necessary when I'm out and filming solo to get the clips I want as a creator. I have the creator combo for the DJI, which is why you also always see me with the mic on too. So if you are an aspiring travel creator or someone who wants to
to document their life, but is a little shy, I recommend it.
This would not be a proper life of a full-time travel creator vlog if there wasn't a mishap. Apparently, as I walked over and used the Google Translate app to talk to the woman about getting our luggage shipped, she said that it may be delayed if we don't get it to her by 5 p.m. It is 3 p.m. Remember when I told y'all earlier today that I am battling time being over here in Asia? Yes, this is one of those moments.
It has been a while since I visited an entirely new continent, so I feel like I came into this month a bit naive. Lots of my travels within the past few years have been primarily in Latin America, where I can speak Spanish and connect with locals. And being in Japan reminded me of that new traveler feeling of understanding what it's like to navigate cultural differences, like sending your luggage the day before from Tokyo to Kyoto. So once my brother arrived, we did get our luggage issues resolved, and now it was time to finally get some of that work done. But as I took the train from Asakusa to Shibuya, which is one cultural difference I appreciated during my time in Japan, because there is nothing like an efficient train system to get you from one side of the city to the other. But the ride reminded me of why I love traveling. To exist in someone else's country is a privilege, and to experience their culture, whether it's food or the luggage transfers or the train system, is truly an honor. Therefore, I want to make sure that as much as I want to balance all the things and work and travel and enjoy, I also want to appreciate where I'm at on this journey. So as the sun was setting amongst the tall buildings and busy streets of Tokyo, I ended up in this little nook of a cafe called 10 Cups in Shibuya to get a little bit of work done at least.
It is like 8:30 p.m. or so, and I'm just now leaving that cafe. So I was there for like 2.5 hours or so, and I feel like I got a lot done considering I wasn't there super long, not nearly as long as I anticipated. So all considering that this was not at all the day that I planned for real, considering, you know, the whole luggage fiasco, I think it was still pretty good, and I am tired. So I'm going to head to the Shibuya station so I can take the train back to my hotel.
Even though my time in Japan came to a close, another chapter of the month was beginning, this time in Vietnam, a country high on my places to visit in Southeast Asia, and another chance to try balancing being a creator and a traveler, though there were some unforeseen challenges ahead.
I'm coming to you from Hanoi, Vietnam, which is the fourth city
and second country on my stop as I'm traveling around Asia this month. And I'll be spending the rest of the month actually in Vietnam. And I'm so excited because the food has been good, the people have been great, and I've wanted to come here for so long. This is my second full day, but my third day in Vietnam. And honestly, I have been tired. I've been so exhausted. I did not know how exhausted I was until I got to Hanoi and just plopped on this big old bed that you see behind me. But I was asleep for like 15, 17 hours yesterday, just getting up, going to the bathroom, going to get food, going back to bed, did some shopping, came back, went back to bed. Like, I have been slumped. And I guess I'm learning that I need to slow it a bit down. I think traveling around Japan for the past 2 weeks or so really took it out of me, because if you've ever been to Japan, you know you do a lot of walking. And I was doing like 15,000 to 20,000 steps a day, which is a lot more than I would normally do, even though I do work out at home. And my body got here and was like, girl, listen, we need to relax. So I am learning this month that I need to be better at listening to my body and pacing out where I'm going and my trips a little bit more. But my voice is sounding almost all the way 100%, not totally, but I do feel a lot better. I'm excited to be in Vietnam. I think when I plan trips like this where I'm gone for like a month or 6 weeks, I'm reminded that I'm not invincible, even though I think I am, Virgo tendencies. I think I can do anything. And I think just traveling so much and hopping from place to place and different climates, as you can see, I am wearing a crop top. I have my arms out, my toes are out here in Vietnam, but I was wrapped up in my scarf and hat and layers when I was in Japan. And before that, I was in Wisconsin. So bouncing from climate to climate, country to country definitely takes a toll on your body, which I feel like I definitely underestimated on this trip. So I hope that for the rest of the month, I am clear of congestion and mucus, because I want to be 100% for my first international influencer trip that is going to be happening in a few days. So I'm here a bit early just to hang out in Hanoi. I'm going to go to Sapa. It's giving a blend of like travel creator, solo train traveler, but this time in Asia instead of the US. And I am just so excited despite all of the little sickness and minor setbacks I've had for the past few days.
Solo time in Hanoi showed me how to navigate the not so good moments behind the scenes of being a travel creator. And if being congested wasn't enough, I also learned that even after years of solo traveling, I too can have a failed solo train trip. The weather in Sapa was less than ideal, but considering I needed to reevaluate how I was balancing all of my responsibilities, I welcomed the rainy day, though I would be lying if I said I didn't feel a little defeated leaving Sapa and returning to Hanoi. I couldn't shake this congestion to be more productive. I felt ill prepared for Sapa because I was congested before the trip, and I felt like I was failing as a creator by not posting as much and keeping my audience updated. Trying to find the balance between vlogging, being consistent on socials, and living in the moment so I have content to share once I return has been a challenge, but this is my first big trip as a full-time travel creator, so learning what works and what doesn't was inevitable. Plus, Hanoi is too lovely of a city to feel down in. I mean, look at it. The minute I began exploring again, all my worries and concerns felt trivial, and eventually I got my spark back. I mean, for crying out loud, I created a life where I can work from Vietnam. It was time to enjoy it. With my sickness behind me and my nerves kind of ahead of me, I was ready for my first international influencer trip as a full-time travel creator.
Hello, I am coming to you from Cat Ba Island here in Vietnam. I am on my first influencer trip as a full-time travel creator, which is just a wild thing to say out loud, but I am so excited to be here. It's been an incredible week in Vietnam with Intrepid Travel, and y'all will see see more of this in a future video because y'all know I've been vlogging. I've been paid to vlog and record and make some Instagram reels and all that good stuff for this trip. So much good content is coming down the pipeline. But I want to kind of just like check in and talk about like what's been going on this month. It has been such a wonderful experience. I think I was really nervous coming onto this trip as a creator because, like, you know, I'm 3 months in to this full-time entrepreneurship gang, and there are people on this trip who've been creating for 6 years and 7 years and 5 years, you know, and it's like, okay, I'm surrounded by like people who have made this a sustainable business, which for me, it's nice to be around more seasoned creators, you know, so I can ask them questions. Some of them are YouTubers, some of them are Instagrammers, some of them are like videographers, and we do have TikTokers too, you know, so there's like a nice variety of people here who I'm able to kind of talk to and like get to know, but also get advice from, like business advice as like a new entrepreneur girly. And so I like almost cried last night because I was just so overwhelmed with the privilege and opportunity I have been afforded to do this. I think when I'm at home, y'all be seeing me at home in my yellow room, just kind of typing and video editing and doing all that stuff, and like I'm here. Like, this is honestly, look at this view, like the fruits of my labor, which is wild to think about. Like this beautiful, beautiful property I am just here being paid to experience. I'm also learning though that I need to find balance between like being on location and filming on location and shooting, but also probably get better at prepping myself to be gone, getting more videos made so I can just post them as I'm like experimenting and experiencing the place that I'm like visiting on an influencer trip like this, because I need to post videos still like on my socials. So finding that balance is definitely something to think about for future trips for sure. And I will say one of the best resources has been World Time Buddy. It is a free website where you can put in where you're located and other different time zones to see what time you need to submit things for. So if you have deadlines you need to abide by as you're traveling abroad, whether as a 9-to-5er or a remote worker or an entrepreneur or whatever you do not sleep on Time Buddy. They have been my best friend to understand when I have meetings in my time zone, but also like I'm 12 hours ahead. So figuring that stuff out has also been a learning experience for me. And so I want to keep that in mind for future trips too.
While the month started off with excitement and congestion, the influencer trip was the burst of inspiration I needed as a creator and a traveler. It is such a heartwarming experience to share space with people who are so talented and have their own creator style in their own right, and inspire me to be more adventurous in my content, show more of my personality, and not be afraid to switch up my content style every now and again. And while I love being a solo traveler, there is also something about being around people to share travel experiences with, to laugh with, to eat with, to hang out on a 16-hour train ride with, and just to experience life with. It's a reminder that you are not alone on your journey and you don't have to be in isolation. After almost 3 weeks in Vietnam, I spent my final days of March enjoying some solo time in Saigon, aka Ho Chi Minh City. Of course, there was more work waiting for me after my influencer trip, but there were also a few last motorbike rides to take, which was another cultural difference I had grown to love during my time in Asia. I got so comfortable that I decided to find a dentist to get my 6-month cleaning. I found Picasso Dental through TikTok, texted them via WhatsApp, and made an appointment. I have never gone to a dentist outside the US, and they were so gentle, quick, and affordable for me, as the visit was under $12. So there is a first for everything. That was like the most gentle dental cleaning I've ever had. Loved it. I wish I would have made time to get my teeth whitened, but for the next trip. But because all good things must come to an end, I decided to spend my last day roaming around the city and found my way in a park, a little oasis in the bustling city of Saigon.
It is my last day in Asia, my last day in Vietnam. In a few short hours, I will be on a plane. Well, actually 3 planes.
I got 3 flights back to the US, which I'm not looking forward to be honest. But I do have 3 flights back to the US tonight. And since I am in the beautifully chaotic city of Saigon, you can see all of the motorbikes. I'm in a park. People are working out. Like, it is such a busy city, literally the definition of organized chaos. But I thought it'd be the perfect place to talk about my month in Asia, because honestly, it felt like organized chaos at times. So let's talk expectations versus reality. So my first expectation was that I would be able to maintain my editing cadence and post a weekly video on YouTube, which if you can see on my channel, I only posted twice this month, which I think is still pretty good, honestly, considering I was in multiple countries, in multiple cities, all in one month, kind of doing it all on my own. I edit on my own. I film for the on my own, unless I am with my brother or somebody else on a trip, like all of the influencers I was with earlier this month. But that did not happen, and I think I need to get a better job at posting beforehand, but also creating a bunch of videos to be scheduled out as I am traveling. I don't think I did enough video editing and preparation and scheduling before I got here, because I thought I would edit on the plane, but I was asleep. I thought I would edit on a train, but I was probably sleeping, because my schedule was so packed. So it's kind of that dilemma as a travel vlogger, or anyone who really struggles with living in the moment versus capturing the moment. That's definitely a huge thing that I think will continue to come up in the future. So it's good to kind of have this test run to know how it feels right now. So the reality is I need to plan ahead more, period. The second expectation was that I would feel more relaxed abroad, and I think this is a yes and. I think what I realized as I've been traveling around Japan and Vietnam for my first month as a solopreneur travel creator is that I actually worry a lot more than I did at my 9-to-5, and I think I had a lot of responsibility at my 9-to-5, so I think I just worried in a different way, if that makes sense, because I manage people. But I think as an entrepreneur, all of it kind of rests on my shoulders, and when I've been traveling around this month, even though it's been glorious, I'm like, oh my God, I'm not posting enough. Oh my gosh, I'm not keeping my audience updated. Oh my gosh. I'm just trying to find a space for all these things. I'm not responding to emails as quickly as I feel like I should, even though I'm 12 hours or 15 hours ahead. So it's I'm just constantly worrying, or maybe the worrying is heightened way more now than when I was at my 9-to-5, and trying to balance that and figure it out is just, another thing to learn and grow into. I think this is also because entrepreneurship is already unpredictable, but travel entrepreneurship is even more unpredictable, because I can get offers in my inbox that I need to be somewhere in a few days to shoot some content. I don't know if y'all know, but behind the scenes, people be scrambling, okay? So they scramble you too. And I think for me as a Virgo, it is hard to relinquish the things I cannot control. I'm working on it, but that's something that I really need to kind of figure out how to manage in this kind of entrepreneurial lifestyle that I have created for myself for the future. I just want y'all to know I am getting bit up out here for y'all, okay? The mosquitoes are out, honey. But the last expectation was that I will be running outside more. Y'all know I've been kind of not training for this, but really getting the habit of doing more outdoor runs and kind of getting in the routine of running. And I felt like I ran a few times. I did run a few times this month, but not as much as I thought I would. I think there were a few factors that contributed to that. First, it was a bit rainier in Japan and Vietnam than I think I anticipated, and I'm a little clumsy, and I really don't want to fall while running, so that was a whole thing. I also got really congested. I was super congested both Japan and Vietnam, in the beginning of each trip. So that was also a thing that I was like, I can't run if I can't breathe. And in spite of all of that, I still feel like I was way more active here than I was at home. I think because I was doing so much walking in Tokyo and hiking when I was in the village. And so there was just so much stuff going on between Japan and Vietnam that I still got pretty much the same workout intensity in every single day.
because I was pretty active most days. So there was some balance in that, which I think was pretty cool to kind of feel through. But I think in the future, I do want to do more running. I do want to maybe find like a run club or get involved in like an extracurricular like workout club or something like athletic while I am traveling when I'm doing it for longer. So yeah, I'm currently in the park and everyone is staring at me, y'all. Everyone's staring at me, but it's been a really great month. I am so happy that I was able to spend my month here in Japan and Vietnam. Again, I'm very sad to be leaving just because one, it's very cold in Milwaukee, but also two, I feel like I'm just getting used to like being here. I think I definitely want to be in places a bit longer, maybe more than just a month. So I feel like I'm just getting started. Like I'm just getting the vibe of like the motorbikes and like the food and everything. Like there's just so much more to see, do, explore, and also get into a routine while I'm here. So lots of thoughts marinating. I feel very inspired leaving Vietnam and leaving Japan. I think the beauty of travel is being able to sit in a park and journal and people watch and people stare at you like, who's this girl with a microphone and a camera, and you just mind your business, okay? And people watch and enjoy it all, because these are the times that you are going to remember as you are traveling. So I am going to get ready to get out of here. My flight leaves in about 6 hours, but I have to get to the airport 3 hours ahead of time. So I'm gonna gallivant a bit more, take in the last sights of the city, the sounds of all the motorbikes, and just being in a very, very big place. And I will check y'all out when I am headed back home.
So diary, this month was a experience. Being a little sick while traveling, while navigating culture shock and cultural differences, is not ideal when you're a country you don't know anyone. And there were times in March where I honestly just wanted my mom to make me some tea, but every day in a month abroad is not going to be sunshine and rainbows. There will be days that I'm not feeling the best yet need to work and still build my business, and other days where I have to gather all of my dirty laundry and thankfully use the laundry service within the hotel to get my clothes clean so I can smell like a decent human being. But this month in Asia taught me some valuable lessons as I continue to navigate the world as a traveling entrepreneur. I'm reminded that I am not invincible and I can't do everything on my own. I'm reminded that traveling while working is not always glamorous, but it's pretty epic. And I'm also reminded that as much as I am a solopreneur, I need community now more than I think I even did at my 9-to-5, especially a creative one. Another month is in the books, and as Q2 is on the horizon, I am looking forward to seeing what lessons I'll learn, what people I'll meet, and what places I'll visit on this dynamic adventure of being a traveling entrepreneur.